Here in the Newberry Mountains, middle to late May. Oh, heard a quail. Roused them up with my voice. That is Spirit Mountain up there. Looks like there may be a few relictual trees from wetter times when this was a forested area. Now it's in the heart of the Mojave. Actually, lots of subtropical elements coming in here from the south, from towards Arizona, Mexico, and Southern California, etc. So this range is rather special. The state of Nevada. You're going up to the high point, Spirit Mountain, and associated arms today in particular. It's been quite hot here. Quite a few days already. Cooler day today. The Liliaceae are mostly in fruit lower down, and about half in flower and half fruit above 3,000 feet here. The Cinchia tessellatas, though, are long gone. Well crisped over. Wilted, seared, singed in fruit for quite some time now. And May is the time for the perennials to thrive. So those lifeless, barren sticks we've walked by 100 times already together have finally become something beautiful. It's Senegalia or Acacia Keckiella right there now. You can see those distinct mimosoid leaves now. And here we got one flowering with the distinct mimosoid powder puffs. So the showy parts of these flowers are the stamens. Here's a look at the showy parts of the mimosoid flowers. So we have dense clusters, aggregations of flowers. There's many dozens of flowers in each separate axis here, all clustered into heads, congested heads, with the stamens, the boy parts, sticking out and being the showy parts in these flowers. In fact, the yellow attractive parts to pollinators. What we're really not seeing are the petals or the sepals so much. So if you wait long enough, there's something to appreciate from these Senegalias. As horrible as they look all winter, turn into something nice by middle to late May here. I knew this from my house. I have these growing in my backyard. Always knocking against my house, actually, when it's windy, which is most of the time. They aren't flowering at my house yet, though. And it's one of the first treats of the afternoon, I'd say. With them all leafed out like this finally, you can really get a better sense of just how common they are in the landscape of the lower Mojave of southern Nevada. Cat claw acacia, better called Senegalia Keckiella. It's truly an abundant species. It's a subtropical element right to the left of me. It doesn't occur anywhere else in Nevada except the Newberry Mountains, I believe. Maybe a couple of other areas and or ranges near here, but otherwise it's pretty much just in the Newberries. And it's a representative of the genus Nolina, so it looks like a yucca or an agave, and it is indeed in the Agavoideae subfamily of the Asparagaceae. So all agaves, yuccas, and etc. are in the asparagus family. How this differs from a yucca, though, in part, is that those leaf tips, you can deal with them with the human flesh. See? Whereas if I tried to break off the point tip of a yucca, it would be far more resistant to degradation. You can see that these things flop around in even a gentle breeze there. So leaves are a lot less rigid than yucca or agave leaves, for example. Too bad it's not flowering. Who knows when that's going to happen, but this is Nolina biglovii. Got the horror of Laughlin down there to contrast. With the glory of the Newberries. Need to get into those boulder fields someday. Nolina's there, almost in flower. All the buds are pretty much developed. Looks like they're about to open. Definitely not big conspicuous blooms like we have in the native yucca species. Here's Keckiella antirrhinoides. It's a shrub in the plantain family, Plantaginaceae. Plantain and penstemon family, and this thing looks a lot like a penstemon. I don't believe there's yellow penstemons in Nevada, but I'll find that out in the coming months. And this genus must nonetheless be closely related to penstemon because of that staminode there. You see that fuzzy, outward extending, modified stamen there in the middle? It's a sterile stamen known as a staminode. Penstemon's characterized by that, and Keckiella has it as well. Unlike penstemons, though, this Keckiella is a real honest-to-goodness shrub. Who knows what's living out there in those recesses? Yeah, I've never seen a penstemon like that. Not sure how visible that is or not, but this thing has swarmed and swarmed and swarmed and flies. It's hungering for the few open flowers in the center there. Almost all unopened, but there's a few open ones in the center there. Maybe a little, maybe a lot, but I've run into water on my way up Spirit Mountain. We'll see how much there is. Oh, tadpoles. Dealing with some nice water here, not fouled by any beasts of burden or otherwise. We're in a national park here, so technically, they don't allow for that kind of thing. Whoa, what a grove of thistle and nolina. Appears the spring is forming at this junction of two washes and that it quickly fades out again that way where I'm going. Maybe extends up that way a little bit. It's a forest up there. So maybe some good water filtration happening. Hasn't rained here for a good month plus though. So that's still seeping down from a long time ago. And I imagine it expires at some point, although the presence of frogs is heartening, to say the least. I had a feeling I'd run into this today. Dudleya arizonica in flower. One of those previously alluded to subtropical elements. Dudleya is far more diverse. Places like California, Mexico. It's the only species barely reaching into Nevada here in the Newberry Mountains. It's a better look at it. I know there's a bit of a glare here, but so are the angles this time of day. Bright red inflorescence. Petals aren't really a different color than the bracts there, red bracts. The basal rosette is quite green. A very glaucous, very fleshy plant overall. As you may imagine, it's necessary for such a lineage to survive in a very dry, barren place such as this. This is the crest of the canyon with the spring in it. See Laughlin and the Colorado River out there in the distance. Spirit Mountain is close by over this bump. And first I'm gonna tag this one since it is a named summit. Almost on Spirit Mountain. Just share with you my current dilemma at the moment first though. Got oak thickets up that way, and gooseberry and oak thickets and others up that way. Guess I'm going to try to crawl through that way because that looks rather blocked unless I can climb on the side there on those rocks. Hey, maybe. Another subtropical shrub here. It is Garrya flavescens in the Garryaceae. So very much a tropical family, finding its way into southern Nevada here with one single representative, the genus Garrya. Almost there. Just got a bit of a brutal dip down there. So to be more class 3, class 4 scrambling. And darn, it looks like I have to go around quite a bit. That ridge is really jagged and ripped up. So the left side is very deep. There's a crack there, unclimbable, brush choked. So the only option's to head down to the right here. Oh God, there's Spirit Mountain up there. Camera's shaking a little. Came down that gully in that lip there. Just had second rattlesnake encounter of the day. I don't think it got me. A moment of adrenaline. I have a picture of seeing it lunge at me. But I think I jumped out of its way. Knocked around a shit ton of boulders. Bleeding right here. Doesn't look like a snake bite. This other shit's from gooseberries. Let's see what happens over the next few minutes here. Probably time to get up Spirit Mountain and get a cell phone signal just in case. Again, looks like more of a serration from a boulder than a bite, but it's hard to tell. Just want to make the point that it was me that stepped on the snake, not any other attack from its part the other way around. It was all my fault. And God, I was spooked last time I encountered one. Now 2 in one day. I think, even though it's a nice cool day in the Mojave, that it really is truly time to get up those higher elevations where there are far fewer rattlesnakes. I've never run into one in northern Nevada, for example, but been hitting one every single trip at minimum. Almost one per day, oftentimes. So yeah, that last encounter was not good. Maybe if I talk, that'll alert the snakes better, as we've seen before. Once I'm up in the shade, I don't think there'll be a problem. They sun themselves this time of day. They're pretty active this time of day. But good news is we are going to be spending quite a bit of time up north coming months, since COVID-19 in combination with Shakey's death have meant that fieldwork and other activities in Alaska planned for this summer are not happening. At a minimum, they're postponed till next summer. But that leaves an opportunity to use the new truck quite a bit in northern Nevada this summer. And hopefully we'll make the best of it. Hopefully we'll make the best of the pandemic as much as we can in terms of the restrictions on Alaska. I was supposed to move out of Arizona at the end of May here. It's May 20th right now, but I'm staying because of the car and the pandemic. Staying in Arizona, staying in Nevada for several months yet. We're not sure where I'll be this winter. Maybe the same place, maybe not. But we have a lot of good things to see across this summer, across higher elevations, across the state. Either summit of Spirit Mountain, made it here without a heart attack or whatever snake bites may cause. So I guess I wasn't bitten. This peak's been speaking to me for months now. It's really the highest thing of prominence across all horizons. I'm sure it wasn't called Spirit Mountain for nothing. I'm sure that refers to some ancestral beliefs that this place was special. It has forests, it has springs, it has biodiversity, so I guess it makes sense that it's a spiritual place. It has river views. There's intense dry bajadas out there. And Hoover Dam, quite some dozens of miles upriver there. Gotta have good reflexes to make it out here. I've saved myself from falling thousands of times through good balance, through good reflexes. Certainly had talent, some type of talent from birth for walking, but also a lot of reflex development across myriad expeditions, and it really saved my ass today. I saw the fangs of that snake. I saw it lunge at me. My reflexes took hold. I jumped. That thing missed me. And I scurried across some boulders, and it didn't follow me or anything. They don't really want to follow you. They don't want to hunt you. They know you're a rather big creature. It just is sheltered in place, so to speak, to use a recent buzzword. Once I escaped its immediate wrath. Again, I'm feeling fine, I suppose. Get back to you in a few minutes as I descend there. Check in, see that everything's still okay. But, goodness, the view is worth it, actually. Only time my reflexes really did not work out for me was due to some objective danger. I slipped on a gravelly coated boulder. Could not get my grip upon slipping, and therefore braced my fall with my arm and dislocated my shoulder in the process. And really, it's the only time reflexes did not work out for me, and they did. The arms shot out as they're supposed to. The pack was just a little too heavy, and the surface to land on just a bit too slippery, though. And gotta trust your reflexes, gotta appreciate your reflexes, and now I gotta figure out how to get to that part of the ridge. Someday we'll head out there towards the cell towers. There's a lot of good bouldering and scrambling and such, it looks like, on that southern summit of the Newberries. Christmas tree pass down there. There's been a ton of interesting plants collected from that region. And time to go home, I think. Probably via this ridge. We'll check it out. Stumbled across a nice little site. Too bad I didn't have my overnight gear with me. I'd stop immediately. Pretty much at the summit still. There's a nice clearing. Two very old burners. Anyone need some chill campsite? There it is. Got a rather pathetic Calochortus kennedyi poking out of the gravels here. But very bright. I mean, thought it was a human object at first, being near the camp and all. Hopefully we'll see a good condition one. I'm gonna be descending post-dark still here. Not too bad. I'll mostly be at the bottom by full darkness and back at the Christmas Tree Pass Road, if you can see down there. And it's better to be descending at night than dead by a snake bite.